What is good, Joe? I have brought back the album review series, but I revamped it a little bit. Usually you just won't hear my voice and a picture of the album I will be talking about. I decided to show y'all my face and really explain to y'all why I feel a certain way about this album in a positive way, because I think this album is great. The album I'm going to be talking about today is Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist collab album, Alfredo. Now, this album came to us as a surprise. I was sitting at home, scrolling through Twitter as usual, and I see Freddie Gibbs tease an album cover that looks like this. And I sat there and I was like, new Freddie? I'm always game. I'm always interested to see how this is going to go. And then it's later revealed that it's an album with Alchemist. And I get even more excited because I'm a huge Alchemist fan. I'm a producer kind of guy. You know, some of my favorite producers are Ninth Wonder, Dr. Dre, of course, Alchemist, Just Blaze. I can go up. Even Noah 40 Shabib, I think that's how you say his name. 40 from OVO is definitely one of my favorite producers. But it all started when he dropped the trailer for the first song, which I will get to right here. Let's just bring this up here. 1985, which I thought that was just going to be the song, and then this is going to be just a heavily teased collab album that us hip hop fans are just going to be clamoring for the next couple of weeks. And then it was released in 12 hours. We were like, what? What? We haven't seen Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist together since Fetty, which was a trio collab album with Freddie Gibbs, Alchemist, and one of my favorite rappers of all time, Currency. This album specifically, Alfredo, is exactly what I want hip hop to sound like right now. Now, is there a lane for the new generation, the Lil Uzi Verts, the Gunnas, the Young Thug? Absolutely. Do they belong in rap? Absolutely. But this is where it stems from. Traditional hip-hop is becoming cool again. It's always been cool, but for some reason, guys like Freddie Gibbs, guys like Griselda, the people over at Griselda who are doing a fantastic job of bringing that traditional boom bap, raw, grimy, street, and sample heavy sound back, and I love it. I mean, the Bernie Mac sample in 1985, perfect, because it goes along with Freddie's personality. If you follow Freddie Gibbs is actually a very funny person. He does not care what anybody else thinks. He will do what he wants. If anything, Freddie put this album out to prove to people that he just doesn't rap over Madlib beats good. He can rap over anybody else's beats, and he can actually go toe-to-toe with some of the best MCs right now. I mean, the Frank Lucas song of Benny the Butcher is one of the hardest hitting beats I've heard from Alchemist in a minute, because it reminded me of Scrape the Bowl, which is funny because that was produced by Alchemist, and that was off of the Boldy James Price of Tea in China project that came out earlier, I believe this year or late last year. The interesting part about this entire album is that every song flows together. It's called Alfredo, but don't let the title be fooled, because the title is a bar in itself. Alfredo, Alchemist, Freddie, come on, man. And then you just called it You just call it Alfredo, and you get that. Now, of course, there is a lot of street references in this album, but the one song that really gets me on this album, let's go back to the track list here, is Scotty Beam. Right off the rip, Scotty Beam takes the cake on this album, in my honest opinion. Scotty Beam with Rick Ross, to me, is the best song on this album. A close second is Baby Shit. Number 3, God Is Perfect. Number 4, Babies and Fools with Conway the Machine. Number 5, interestingly enough, the 5th track, Frank Lucas. Freddie and Alchemist, which I believe that they were sometimes in the studio and then sometimes they weren't. And I think, however this project was recorded, whether it was recorded on a whim, whether it was way planned months out, and they just knocked it out, or just Freddie just got like a dope pack of beats from Alchemist, and he's just like, man, I'll just make this a project. However this project came together, it seemed effortlessly, because every single song just flows together. I mean, the samples used throughout are great. I mean, like I said, the Bernie Mac sample in 1985 definitely fits Freddie's personality and lets you know right off the rip, this is still a Freddie Gibbs album. It may say that it's produced by Alchemist, and yes, Alchemist, you can definitely hear Alchemist's sound through all 10 tracks, but this is still a Freddie Gibbs album, and he's going to give you a Freddie Gibbs album. This is for a Freddie Gibbs fan. This isn't for the billboards. This isn't for the charts. This isn't for mainstream hip-hop. This is for traditional hip-hop fans only. Now, if you want to get into the traditional side of things, you can listen to this album, and I think you would enjoy it, because the beats, the drums, the rhymes, dude, I don't understand why Freddie Gibbs doesn't get the respect like a Rick Ross does, or even the Tyler, the Creator, does. But then again, Freddie's not for mainstream. Freddie's for hip-hop. And we know, and real hip-hop heads know that, and real hip-hop heads respect Freddie Gibbs' craft, because ever since we heard Pinata, even personally for me, even before that, I knew Freddie Gibbs was going to be something special. And to see his progress from Midwest, I think it's Midwest box frame Cadillac. It's the play on of the Southern Playalistic Cadillac music thing, but it was Midwest and box frame is in there. I don't remember the exact title at this moment, but bear with me. I've heard Freddie Gibbs since that mixtape, and actually the first time I heard Freddie Gibbs was when he rapped over 93 Till Infinity. Once upon a time, round 99, I took a chick to the prom with a big behind. She had a cute face, a thin waist, a bright smile. TD's mediocre, but ass was like I've been a Freddie Gibbs fan for a very, very long time. Each of these tracks, 1985, sets off the album perfectly. And then it goes into God Is Perfect, which again shows us why Freddie Gibbs is such a dope lyricist and why he should be respected. Then a Rick Ross feature, which to me, when you get in today's climate, a Rick Ross feature does not miss. I've never heard one bad Rick Ross feature in the past 5 years, to be completely honest with you. I have not. Because every time I see featuring Rick Ross, I get excited a little bit, because I'm going to hear something. I'm going to hear luxurious raps and more stuff that I'm going to want in the future, basically. Like, when I listen to Rick Ross and I listen to Scotty Beam specifically, I want to be on a yacht somewhere. I want to be somewhere where it's sunny, it's hot. I got a Hawaiian shirt on, open, possible gold chains. possible gold chains, a white hat, and I'm sipping something out of a coconut. It's not necessarily tropical, but it's relaxing. It's hip hop. People say the beats sound like elevator music. Shut up. Shut up. You. Shut up. Whoever said that, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. If you pay attention to 2020's hip hop climate, this fits right in with Griselda, with hell, even J. Cole, even everybody over at Dreamville. Like Freddie Gibbs sets himself apart while rapping this, but also making it still sound like it belongs in 2020. Even though you could play this album in the 90s and people would lose their shit because it's like, what? You mean he's using these samples and these types of beats? And you can put this in the 90s and it would go gold. But sadly in today's climate, I saw that this sold 31K first week, which makes me a happy camper because that means that Freddie is finally starting to get his respect. I think it debuted at number 15 on the Billboard charts, which is the highest Freddie or Alchemist has ever gotten, which salute to the fans for supporting this dope project. But again, Scotty Beam to me takes the cake. Number 2 for me, these are just my opinions. Scotty Beam, God is Perfect, Babies and Fools, Baby Shit. Actually, let me switch Baby Shit and Babies and Fools on my rankings list. And then Frank Lucas and Look at Me. Those are my favorite tracks. Damn near the whole album. I can listen to this entire album from top to bottom and not skip a single song. And that's what hip-hop and music should be about. I don't care about mainstream selling, but I don't care about that. I don't care about hits no more. I don't. I used to care that hip-hop was on the billboards, but not as much anymore because I just want to make sure that the music is good. Because there's a lot of albums out there that didn't necessarily sell well, but are well produced, well put together, and each song flows from one to the next. And that's what this album has definitely done. And if I urge you guys to take a listen. Again, favorite tracks, Scotty Beam, God is Perfect, Baby Shit, Babies and Fools, and Look at Me. Definitely some songs that I would definitely be on the lookout if you want to take a listen to this project. I give this an 8.5 out of 10. The only reason I don't give it a 10 out of 10 is because I don't want to jinx it. It's too soon. I want to see if over time it gets better. Because if this album ages well, like I think it's going to, this will be just another classic in the discography of Freddie Gibbs and another great production effort by Alchemist. Now, I will put the link in the bio, or put the link in the description, for you guys to listen to it. Tell me what you guys think. Do you agree or disagree? Again, Freddie Gibbs, Alchemist, Alfredo. You guys should definitely check this out. It is definitely worth your time. 35 minutes, 10 tracks. It's not a super long album. It gets straight to the point, and that is what makes Freddie Gibbs so great. He doesn't waste his time when it comes to giving us music. If you listen to a solo tape he did called Freddie, the first song, Wait, he lets the beat build, and then the boom, push and wait, some push and wait. Like, he doesn't wait to get to the point. He just goes for it. And that's what makes me respect Freddie Gibbs, not only as a lyricist, but as just an artist, period. He's an artist. He's a great artist. And I urge you guys to check out his music. So, that has been my review and somewhat of a / recommendation on why I think you should listen to this album. What did you guys think of it if you have listened to it? Shoot me some suggestions on some albums that you guys want me to review, whether it's old or new. and I will definitely try to post more album reviews from here on in. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time.